And first of all, Philip, everybody is waiting to see just what new restrictions the government is going to impose today.
Well, the pressure is on the government because, as you've been saying, it's just under 10,000 new cases in a day, which is a record since the month of June in France, and it doesn't seem to show any sign of going down. We've had a dramatic increase in the amount of cases over the past couple of weeks, so the government's under tremendous pressure to come up with some kind of legislation to stop this from progressing further, because if it does go further, then that will mean another nationwide lockdown, and that would certainly be very bad news for the economy. So there are four possibilities that the government is perhaps going to announce this morning. The first one is a coordinated response. What does that mean? That means that the government is going to consult with a council of experts on coronavirus and then come up with its decision on which of the points the council is putting forward that it is going to implement. It doesn't want to create panic, and it doesn't want to impose a nationwide lockdown. The second point there is priority for local measures. If it deems necessary, it will close down a city or a town if there's too much progression of the virus. It might limit the amount of people that can get together for gatherings down to 10. There is rumour that might even be that. There may even be a limitation on where you can go in France, like there was during the lockdown, but no nationwide lockdown on people going all over the country. There may be more schools closed, and also there may be some kind of quarantine on Paris, Lyon, Bordeaux, Toulouse, some of the major cities in this town, and even Nice. Now, the third one is reducing the quarantine period from 14 down to 7 days. They think that might be okay now. It's easier to manage. It would have less of a dent on the economy, and people would accept that a bit more easily, staying at home for 7 days and not 14 days, which is what is currently the measure which people have to abide to. And the final one is an increase in rapid testing. There has been a big increase over the last few weeks, up to 1 million a week now. The government wants to step that up even further so that more people can find out whether they are infected, and therefore, if they are, they can stay in quarantine.
And even ahead of that announcement, people in France are already kind of living in a national lockdown, aren't they? In that it's very difficult to leave the country.
Well,
right
in
now.
theory, since the 11th of May, everyone has been allowed to travel around freely in the Schengen zone. That is changing rapidly. France is becoming a country rather isolated. It's difficult to go to Germany if you haven't had a test done, or if you come from certain regions of France. If you go to Denmark, you have to have a certificate to go into the country with a valid reason for travel. It's the same if you want to go to the United Kingdom, where there is now a new lockdown against French people coming into the country, a 2-week quarantine period. So it's a lot more difficult. There's a ban on citizens to Hungary and also to Cyprus. So I think part of the measures announced today are also destined to reassure France's neighbours that the government is doing something to try to stem the progression of the coronavirus. All will be revealed shortly. We're expecting an announcement within the next couple of hours or so.
Philip, thank you very much indeed. Philip Turle there.